thought the night tonight against Ball State is the moment where I started to feel where the 2017 football team here at Western Kentucky became a team, a complementary team, a team where the offense complemented the defense when it most mattered, and the defense then came back and complemented the offense, and special teams complemented both units, and that's been huge for us is to play complementary football where the three phases are feeding off each other, and it's been hard. We've been scratching and clawing on different phases of the ball, been obviously having some hard moments, and we had to dig ourselves out of that. I feel like we faced the demon that we had seen a week before and conquered that demon, looked it straight in the eye and said, we're going to win this game and we're going to find a way. And I'm so proud of those guys and the resolve, and also really proud of the togetherness that I saw amongst players and offensive players and defensive players, and that's a great locker room right now. It wasn't going to be easy. I know that they had players out. We just had to find a way to win, and that's what Mike White said to the whole team last night in our team meeting on Friday night. He said, I don't really care what it looks like. I just want to win, and we just want to win, and that's exactly what these guys did and found a way to win. So I'll open that up for questions. Tremendous, by great play calling, but even better execution. That was what this game was going to be about was, players make plays in critical moments and players win games. And in that drive, you saw Deion Yelder with a humongous play. You saw Mike White take complete command of the offense. And I think that's going to be a model for us going forward, that playing that style of offense, a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more up-tempo. You're still struggling to find out, are we going to be a personnel team that marches out a bunch of different, oddball formations from snap to snap, or we're going to play with tempo, and we have the ability to do both in our offense, and I think we saw in that drive with a good amount of time left. It wasn't just a 2-minute drive, but that we can really march the ball down the field when we play with a little bit more tempo, and that's exactly what we did. Mike played at a championship level in that drive. And I told him, he'd had a day that could have been a day that he'd like to forget, and I told him, I said, this is one of the great ones, the guys that everybody talks about on NFL Network and NFL Films and all that. Those great quarterbacks, whether it be at the college level or at the pro level, they live for those moments where their back's against the wall. They got to flush what happened in previous drives, and a lot of the stuff that happened wasn't Mike's fault. Some of it was, and that's what I have so much respect for him, the toughness that he showed, and his team saw that firsthand tonight. Yeah, I think the lull kind of happened really towards the end of the game. I felt like throughout the course of the game, we were putting together great drives. It's just the red zone turnovers were critical. And, the details of those is, the one that, the first one that we threw, the first interception, it was a terrific play by their will linebacker. Outstanding play. Jakari was out there running a route. It was an isolation route for the tailback. And, he's run it really well in practice, but it was his first time running that in a game. And, he didn't quite declare the route enough, and the linebacker was able to make a great play. Hats off to them for making a great play. And that's easily correctable by the technique of the route and teaching it. But it's true freshman. And then the one later in the game, it was a bang-bang play, and Mike was anticipating that Lucky was going to cross the face of the defender. Lucky felt like the defender was so tight, so close to the line of scrimmage, it was going to be essentially a no man's land, and that's a detail that we have to clean up in the bye week. I mean, that's a critical red zone play where Mike's fully expecting, and we are fully expecting to make sure that wide receiver is not behind a defender in that particular play, because it was a run action pass. So those are things we got to clean up, but I do think that the resolve was incredibly good, and we did start fast, but we got to finish in the red zone, and I think if we finish in the red zone, we come away tonight feeling very satisfied with our offensive performance. Yeah, Jakari's he's a football player that where the lights come on, and it's time to go. He's something else to see, and he does. There's aspects of his game that remind me a lot of Bobby Rainey, from having been here in 2010, and Bobby is an unbelievably special back, and that's a high standard to live up to for Jakari. But the thing that I think that's really unique about Jakari is his breakaway speed. He can really hit a crease, and he was close tonight to really busting a few open. But yeah, Jakari's he's an electrifying player that our players just feed off his energy.
How important was this win, especially going into the bye week and not going on the field, but taking a lot of positive momentum?
It was huge. I mean, even bigger than not taking a three-game losing streak into the bye was to really know going into the bye that we have now forged a team. A team that now believes that the offense is going to have the defense's back. The defense is going to have the offense's back. The special teams unit is going to have both teams' backs. And that, to me, is what I took away from this game more than anything is I looked over at Wayne Dickens, our director of personal growth, and I looked over at the Reverend. I said, right when the game was online, I said, we're becoming a team tonight. And that's exactly what I felt is that these guys were now becoming a team. And I know that there's been years where there have been really strong teams, but every year is a new year. We're a new coaching staff, and there's a lot of new players, a lot of freshman players that are playing. So it's a completely different dynamic and different makeup of the personnel that's out there on the field. And tonight we became a team. Now, does that mean where everything's perfect and there's nothing to clean up? Absolutely not. There's so much to clean up. But that was what I took away from the day is that we truly became a team, a cohesive outfit.
Like they, obviously Joe Brown and Larry, and just seemed like they kind of stepped up into the middle of the first month of the season.
Yeah, love our defensive group. Love the players. Love the scheme. Love the way they're being coached. And for them to come up big after last week, we told them last week you got to get off the field. And they had we had a 5-point lead. There was time on the clock, and they came up with a stop that we hadn't gotten the week before. And that was the challenge. We got to finish. And they answered the call, to say the least. And Joe Brown, what a critical play. And probably would have liked that he'd take the knee there, but take the points for sure. Could use as many as we can get. I've seen it one time. It was Anthony Wilkerson, Sanford, 2010, to kind of seal up a New Year's Six bowl game. It was BCS at the time. He took off against Arizona State, I believe, and maybe it was Arizona, and took a knee at the 2-yard line. Everybody's like, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm just looking out for the greater good of the team, so we can kneel it out and not have to defend another kickoff return."
Coach Kirby and Baker both didn't really play a whole lot. I know Baker played a little bit, but how soon can we expect to see them back?
Yeah, I think the bye week's going to be really good for both of them. Baker played a little bit, just coming off the rib injury and the hip injury that he had. Nothing was long-term significant. But in DeAndre Furby, we kind of made the choice to get full healing for him, to make sure that we rested him for the games going into the bye week. Therefore, he could use the bye week as a full opportunity to completely heal. And that's big for what the injury he has. It's really one of those that it lingers if you don't take truly active rest, and that's exactly what we did with him. And but the reality of it is Jakari Moses has stepped up significantly in the absence, and that plays a role. It plays a role in who's going to go out there and play. Who are the guys that are going to step up in big time situations? And Jakari Moses took that opportunity, and he made the most of it in critical situations, and that's exciting to see. Thank you, guys.